Well, let's try this out. We're going against Look MU. Let's see what Shenanigans they brought. We're going to get a force. Pass the turn. Potentially gates, but it could be a variety of things. Potentially. It could also be blue-black control, Grits' control. Are we getting fodder ratioed? Okay. Feels like a quench. I guess we can test for a quench. No quench. Surprisingly. Okay. Sure, we will keep tempo alignment on top because we have Uros, which we could use for ramp. Okay, Tyrant Scorn. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so our opponent's playing, I'm guessing, blue-black Reanimator? That's my best guess there. Oh, it's Savale? Okay, opponent. I have no idea what you're doing, but I'm interested. I will say that. Okay. So, graveyard currently not good yet for that, but honestly, we're going to attempt to cast this Risen Reef. Risen Reef is cast. Do they have another Tyrant Scorn? Okay. Another land? Not bad. Not bad at all. We're gonna pass the turn. We got our pause for reflection online. There we go. Combat damage prevented, so we don't have to worry about blocking. Very splendid. What does our opponent play next? Nothing. Okay. We're gonna scry then. Actually, we don't mind that, because here's what we're gonna do. We're going to attempt to quasi-duplicate the Risen Reef. And hope it doesn't die. Okay, annoying, but we don't actually mind that. Do you have the counter magic? Nope, doesn't look like it. Splendid. Okay, then we're gonna play this. We're going to gain life. Keep that on top. But we're gonna activate this. Go get some more land. Okay. And okay, so no more use of the favorite passage. Duly noted. There we go. This one's risky. We can either get the Smothering Tithe out, which I really want to get the Smothering Tithe out, or we can get the Knit's Plume Ancient out. Let's try to get the Smothering Tithe out, see what happens. That way then, if it does get countered, then we can just still quasi-duplicate because... Or not even quasi-duplicate, we could just Uro. Okay, so our opponent decides not to do anything. That works for our end. In that case, I think I'm just going to Uro now. We'll take out our Fabled Passages since we don't need them, and 2 of our Fogs. And the Risen Reef. Really, our best draw here would be... Okay, not that. Not bad, but we're hoping for more emergency powers now. Okay, our opponent's bouncing again. Fair enough. Oh boy. Okay, opponent, what do you tap down? Okay, they're gonna pay the 2. Fair enough. What do they cast next? That is the question of the day. Ooh, errata. Oh, it's an errata deck. Okay, that's really cool. So it's kind of like just your typical Dimir themed deck with some of the Dimir-based mechanics like Surveil and using errata. That's actually really cool. Now I need to read how this works. Okay, target creature. So does it to target creature? I gotta keep that in mind. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna play Uro. Then I'm gonna play this. And pass the turn. Now, opponent has to decide whether or not they want to give us 2 treasures. They're thinking on this last one. They're probably going to exile with a hit counter. Probably the Risen Reef, if I have to make a guess. Okay, so that got exiled with a hit counter. So they only have to do that a few more times, and they are in the clear, so to speak. Okay, then I guess, really, the only thing we can do now... Make a really, really lot of mana. And hope we get into, like, maybe a Force Finale of Devastation, or into our emergency powers. Interesting enough, our opponent decides to give us the treasures now. Which tells me they either have, like, a couple of... They have a lot of stuff they want to do with their mana this turn, or they're just going to kill the Knit's Plume Ancients, which is probably the most logical play, since that's threatening a lot of mana. What does our opponent do? They decide to take the mana. Okay, that makes sense. That means they have now free black mana. Please tell me they don't have a Murderous Rider or a Kill Spell. That's... okay, we really need a top deck emergency powers, or we are in a pickle, because the fact that our opponent now has access to a whole lot of mana means they could do some pretty scary shenanigans, like they could steal our whole board, potentially. Oh.
I'll have to order 20.
Okay.
Ugh, what a whiner.
Okay, not yet. We're not in a pickle yet. Yes! Okay, time to show this combo in action. Okay, so we got that. We can put this down. We're gonna make some treasures. Perfect. Sure, why not? Let's get the other Nitzbloom agent out. Resolve this again. See what's on top. Don't need that. Very nice. And then we're gonna make a lot of mana. We'll put a Temple of Plenty on. Why not? Don't need that. It's gonna get sacrificed, but we don't mind that much, because all we have to do is do this again. Let's put a Cavalier of Thorns. Why not? Oh boy, this is a little bit silly. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna use this mana, make more copies. Okay, so then we're gonna make more copies. Okay. Now we're going to cast Uro. Because now we need to draw into our Finale of Devastation again. We have 14 cards in our deck. Actually, we could do this as simple as just being like, okay, we have 14 cards, so we can make a Hydra Crisis for about 5, 10, 13 times 2 is 26, so once we do it for that, that should draw us almost our entire deck, which should draw us into the Finale of Devastation. If I'm doing my math right, because yeah, 26 divided by 2 is 13. Also, a 26 counter Hydra Crisis. Let's see. Do we see it? Of course, it's the last card in the deck. Well, no worries. That's why we have this. Okay. There we go. Then we'll put that in untapped. And now, time for the shenanigans. Okay, so, well, Black Lotus was an artifact that tapped for a free mana and sack. How about one that does it for 240 free? Oh boy. Yeah, the computer is like... Oh my, this is silly. Oh, I cannot wait to show the deck tech this upcoming Monday for this. So let's do it for a pretty reasonable amount. Let's do it for about let's do it for 300, shall we? Why not? Lucky enough, it doesn't do the card draw, so we don't have to worry about dying. And that is a lot of attack. Oh, I worked. Well, we're gonna go to combat. I wonder what our opponent's thinking about all this. Well, anyway. Let's see how much damage we do with them. And the fact is we haven't even spent all of mana, so this is amazing. Okay, so our opponent can block. They go to blockers. How do you want to block, opponent? Okay, damage. So the total damage is, let's find out. About negative 3,644 damage. And that could have been more if I wasn't restricted by the timer. I think it's safe to say that when this deck works, it can be a little bit silly. One could say. Anyway. I'll see y'all later. This is LevDev signing out. Badoo.